Eddie Goyanes from the Alienware booth at E3. We've got tons of new announcements, tons of product announcements, but even cooler than that, this year marks Alienware's 20th anniversary. So over the years, we've been committed to delivering the most immersive experience on the planet. And with that, we've got some pretty badass product launches coming out. Actually, they came out yesterday, June 14th. So right behind me is the new Alienware Aurora. This is a mid-sized gaming desktop. It's designed to support dual graphics and liquid-cooled overclocking. It supports overclockable memory, and it can support up to 5 solid-state storage drives at the same time. Now, that is what we did to make sure that we got the right level of commitment as far as delivering the best performance to you guys in a mid-sized gaming tower. Now, if you guys check out the market, there's tons and tons of mid-sized gaming desktops, but very few can support the combination of liquid-cooled processors, dual graphics cards, and not just dual graphics cards, we're supporting up to the dual 1080 graphics, which is incredibly powerful. If you need a lot of multitasking, we can support up to 64 gigs of memory. In fact, if you want more performance, we'll enable options that you could buy with overclockable memory up to 2400 megahertz. So that's awesome. But beyond performance, just look at this thing. It's absolutely beautiful. The design language of this machine actually takes cues from the previous desktop, the still long-standing flagship, the Area 51. So if you look at it, it's got a forward-leaning top surface that has the front USB ports. If you think about how gamers use these systems, they typically have them under a desk. So these ports are very handy and easy to access. The system actually has an air intake on the front, and along the side, there's another intake as well. The exhaust is over the top. So the fans are set up to sway in a very particular way to make sure we have the best performance provided to all gamers using this machine. Whether you have a base configuration or the max configuration, you're always going to have the best cooling and thermal management throughout the whole system. Aside from that, ergonomics is also very important. So the system actually has a grip up here at the top and another one on the bottom, so you can carry the system with ease without having to worry about the system cracking or being damaged because of a faulty or weak part of the system. The chassis itself left no piece unoptimized. That means we use the entire chassis. The whole thing has purpose and is designed to deliver to you guys the best desktop experience available. Now, getting in is also really easy. It's actually just like opening a car door. It's actually tough with only one hand, but if I pull back on this latch, the door becomes ajar and I can pull it out real simple. Notice I didn't use a screwdriver to do that. Right away, the storage drives are exposed. So there's two 2.5-inch drives in the bottom, a 3.5 inch on the side, which can be turned into two 2.5-inch drives. And on the motherboard, there's actually an M.2 slot as well. That's how we get the 5 storage drives. Now, if I want to get deeper inside the machine, all I got to do is unlock the chassis. Now, this part is tough to do with one hand. And then I can pull out the entire PSU swing arm. Look at how quickly I was able to get inside the machine. We did this for so many reasons. Number one, not all gamers are very technically savvy, and in fact some of them might be shy or nervous about performing an upgrade. Well, look at how far we've gone without any tools. As a matter of fact, this new design allows us to have our first toolless graphics cards on any desktop. So none of these graphics cards or any expansion card that you install in the system is going to require screws, and that's made possible by the PSU swing arm as well. These retention clips actually seal and keep all the cards protected against shock and vibe. So it's very simple and easy to get in and start working on the machine right away. Memory obviously is toolless as well, and you can see inside we also have a liquid-cooled processor on this system. Now, having the power supply set up this way allowed us to shrink the total size and volume of the desktop. Earlier on, we were saying that not too many desktops out there support the combination of liquid cooling, dual graphics, and overclockability. But even more so, very few desktops can do that at this size, right? And we did not sacrifice performance at all, which is a great story to tell. Now, closing the system is actually very easy as well. Well, yep, there you go. And then the doors at the bottom, I'll install it in a second, but I want to keep talking about the rear of the machine. There are tons of ports back here. As a matter of fact, the system has a total of 15 USB ports. Now, that is after looking at a combination of USB 2.0, USB 3.0, USB 3.1, and that's in a Type A as well as a Type C port in that entire 15 count. So I hope that's enough USB ports for everybody. From an audio perspective, the system supports 7.1 HD audio. It also has an optical digital output and a coax digital output as well. From an Ethernet perspective, we're actually offering a Killer Networks Ethernet port. So that's actually going to be accompanied by the software that Killer Networks provides, which prioritizes packets and prioritizes all of the internet traffic to the right programs that are the most demanding to have the lowest ping and give you the best gaming experience possible. Beyond that, the lighting on the system is also customizable through Command Center. Now, I'm actually quite in love with the lighting on this system. It's the best lighting we've ever had, in my opinion, on any of our products. It's also customizable, and our lighting is actually something that game developers can take into their own game. We have an API that over 100 games and applications take advantage of, so that while you're playing, the lights can change and adapt to the setting in the game as well. So once again, this is our Alienware Aurora. It launched June 14th, just this week, from E3, with a starting price point of $799, and that's with a Core i3, 8 gigs of memory, and NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950, and 1 terabyte of a hard drive space. So, it's also important to say because the system accommodates many kinds of budgets, right? You might be a gamer that has a specific budget in mind, and it'll enable, anywhere from a $799 price point upwards to configurations that involve dual 1080s, overclocked i7 processors, 64 gigs of memory, and many solid state drives. So depending where you are, the Aurora can give you something that is beyond what you expect. If you're looking for a new gaming desktop, this thing's awesome.